Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we've got everything that you need to know. And we're going to be doing emails today, so there's some quite interesting emails. Will be interesting talking about them and hearing your feedback. When you do have something to send us, remember to send it to jamesg@goldcircle.co.za. Let's go and have a look at, first of all, the sporting weekend. Are you glum because of Spurs?
No, not at all. You know, they've been a hoodoo side for us, but it's just made it very tight to the top with Arsenal winning 3-2, going up to 19 points. And Man City, their third game without winning. They missed 2 penalties. Crystal Palace missed a penalty. It seems to be the trend at the moment, missing penalties, but very tight. I'm really looking forward to tonight's game. Manchester United versus Liverpool at Anfield.
Absolutely. Everyone can watch a show and then go out and watch Manchester United playing.
Yeah.
Just on rugby, the Cheetahs gave the Lions a clap without their Springboks. The Lions are not the same team without their Springboks.
Cheetahs have done well, James.
They've done very well. They played with passion. They were good. The Bulls ground the poor mountain goats into the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They were leading the Stormers right till late, eh?
Yeah. And now, interesting, were you showering yesterday?
No, I didn't do it. The bicycle race.
Yeah,
sure. Neil Tovey had a heart
shame.
Neil Tovey, and he's in Hillcrest Hospital, and it's very serious.
Yeah.
But they seem to be on top of it. But obviously very disconcerting, considering he had a hiccup last year, this year, in fact.
Well, we wish him a very best. He's obviously got a very stressful job, and he's a friend of ours, Neil.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
I trained a horse for him.
Yeah.
You know? So let's say I played football with him in 1981. That's how far back he goes, and he's under pressure.
Yeah, shame, Neil.
Shame.
All the best. Right, let's move into our 3 to follow.
Travers. Flower Alley is the winner.
His dad, distorted humor, he's probably one of his best sons at stud.
I'll have another, wins the Derby. I'll have another in the Preakness.
Lilacs and Lace, 48-1, upset.
He's just a big, strong, leggy horse.
Right, well, let's go and have a look at our first one. And we go to Durbanville, last race of the day on Wednesday, and we pick out a Step Out. This is in Peter de Beer's colours, but you'll notice that it is slightly different. She's a Silvana filly out of a Jalad mare. She's bred by the Engelbrechts, and you know they breed some very, very nice horses. And this looks like an outstanding first run for a filly that looks like she's going to go some ground. Let's go and pick her up at the start.
Yeah, she has got the white cap. As James said, there are 2 of them that are representing Peter de Beer here, and the other one's got the red cap, which now goes on the fence with the noseband. That's the stablemate. But what we found is Step Out, who gets niggled along to try and get into the race. And the pace is on very quickly because Silver Laurel comes over from that draw to really make it hot. And on that notes up there and a few others, just to make it a good gallop. And in third last in the white cap, green at that corner, is a horse called Step Out that Greg Sheen is riding for Glenn Cotson.
Yeah, you'll see Peter de Beer's colours pulling hard in about 4th place on the fence. Red Berry Candle, Bielefeld Road, that one. But this filly Step Out's not in the picture at this stage. They're going a really decent gallop. And the favourite takes over. Looks like it's going to win, Red Ginger. And Step Out comes from way off them.
Yeah, Red Ginger is in the Bernard Cantor colours coming up the middle with a noseband. It wins a good race, but looking to the back, you will start seeing that Step Out. The penny hasn't dropped yet. It's past 1 or 2, but it's still a long way off the leaders. And when Greg Sheen brings it out for a run, gives it a clear run, which you see gets a clear run up the outside now, really runs on well.
Well, you must realise that going through the 200 must have been 3 or 4 lengths behind the winner, Red Ginger. And Red Ginger had form. She looked like she was a big improver in the race. But watch the way this filly runs on at the death. She runs on like a real good thing. And I think that over a bit of ground next time, this filly should be able to win against anything. You'd be able to back her. Let's move on to the next one, and we go to Turfentine on the Thursday, and this is an imported High Chaparral filly trained by Johan Janssen van Rensburg.
Van Vuren.
Johan Janssen van Vuren, sorry, I'm a bit punchy today. Being Fabulous. She's a lovely filly. Let's go and have a look at her.
Yeah, runs in our friend Mr. Werner's colours, Lawrence's colours. Comes out the gate quite well, I thought. You know, gets niggled into position 3 off the outside. Gets into, they go a good gallop here. Key Tango goes out and makes it hot. Your eventual winner is called Malachite Sunbird, which Pierre Stradham in his unique style is sitting second with the black noseband. That's your eventual winner for Clinton Binder and Pierre Stradham. And in 5th place is the horse that we've found, Being Fabulous, which runs a very good race. It just gets beaten for 2nd, but a little over the place because it's still learning, but quickens up nicely at the top of the stretch.
Yeah, it's out of a Danehill mare. It's got to be able to go as much ground as you want. 1200 around the inside track wouldn't be its game. You see it's got beautiful action. And just getting whip change into his right hand, Gav Lorena. Now he starts to ask her to run, and she moves up smartly to into the firing line, but Malachite Sunbird's gone. And just looks like greenness gets the better of her. Gavin just holding her together here, but lovely action filly. She looks like she'll go a trip.
Yeah, she doesn't get her head slightly sideways, doesn't know much about it. Got a top rider trying to urge her on, and just gets beaten by Double Attractive for 2nd. The winner, as you say, the bird has flown, and that's the Malachite Sunbird. But a very good debut, not beaten far, with just over half a length, if that far. Keep an eye on that. Being Fabulous.
Yeah, certainly got a pedigree to go with it too. Let's go and have a look at the next one, and we pick up one that really was unlucky at Scottsville Race 1 on Sunday. And we're going to have a look at the Garth Puller inmate Shanty Town by Cahal out of a Catalucci mare bred by Richard Fitzgerald. He owns it as well. And this ran a cracking good race. Let's go and pick it up.
This is a sparkling debut, because there was another horse making a debut that got supported called Oliver Green, who played up. Now, Oliver Green's 4 off the left-hand side of the white face, and Arthur Marcus is out and gone in the source. Conversely, Shanty Town's got the red cap and way back, probably 2nd last year, if you can see it towards the inside of the pack. Picks it up from here, but a long way back. The eventual winner is Little Red Rooster, who's very quick as well, for Gareth Van Zyl, and that gets up alongside Oliver Queen and really runs on well.
Well, Shanty Town's behind the horse with a sort of white cap. You'll see it. It's about 4th last, about 5 off the right of your screen, and coming up behind the horse with the yellow sleeve. So that's where you'll pick her out. The split does open for her, and she moves through on the inside of the horse with the blue sleeves. Here she starts getting her left-handed urging from young Dennis Schwartz. Here she starts picking up. But here she's got absolutely no chance of running close. And watch the way she finishes this filly. Now she starts picking it up. And
good run, James.
Beaten 2.5 lengths. I think that was quite impressive, and Richard will be very happy with that one.
Yeah, very good.
As we say, certainly looks like worth following. We're going to move on to Blast from the Past. We got the 2000 Queen's Plate. See if you can remember who won this. One of the great galloping geldings of our time.
Gates are open. Soft falling rain, pulling clear. Soft falling rains won the SA Nursery by 3.
Racing in the 2000 Guineas. Gates fly and they're racing in the Godolphin Mile.
They're off and racing.
Weight didn't matter. Class tells. Soft falling rain, much too good. Soft falling rain, an impressive Guineas winner. Soft falling rain is drawing clear.
He's made it 7 out of 7 by winning here today.
But it's Soft Falling Rain who is powering away. We'll see out the mile in style. A high-class performer wins the Nay of Joel Stakes.
They're all set. 1,600 metres to cover. Runners are sent on their way. Glamour Boy flew out of the stalls and rushes up to lead from Billy Bushwhacker and Sovereign Seas up on the far side. They followed by Drumstar and Clifton King, who wasn't that smartly away, is moving past runners. The Shake is in behind these. And Free My Heart, content to bide his time at the back of the field and about 6 off the leader. They run down towards the 1200 and Glamour Boy is out in front, setting the gallop, has the lead by 2 over Sovereign Seas, who's racing up in second. Clifton King in behind those races third. Bully Bushwhacker down at the rail, races in fourth, now dropping 5 off the leader. They're stretching out just a little. The Shake is in behind these with Drumstar along his inside, and Free My Heart is still at the back of the field. The pace slows just a fraction midway round that turn as Glamour Boy is eased back. Sovereign Sea still racing in second. Clifton King up on the outside, races third. Billy Bushwhackers down at the rail. They being followed by the Shake creeping closer. Drumstar in behind that. And Free My Heart going to have to come from the back of the field, 7 lengths off this leader. They're homeward bound in the Queen's Plate now. They have just on 500 metres left to go, and Glamour Boy's a good leader along the inside. Clifton King is now starting to run on, and Free My Heart is moving well up towards their outside. Glamour Boy in front as they come to the final 250, but Free My Heart has him in his sights, and he's coming home best of all in the centre. Clifton King is racing in behind that, but Free My Heart has come to the lead. Glamour Boy is trying to fight back along the inside, but Free My Heart is too good. He's drawing away in the closing stages, and Free My Heart, impressive, goes on to win the Queen's Plate. Glamour Boy, Sovereign Seas, very tight behind that between the Shake and Drumstar.
Well, what a champion he was, Free My Heart. It was by Jalad, I think, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he could go anywhere. Even at Joburg, and he played with him.
Yeah.
He was come to Durban, he played with him. A really good horse.
Yeah, fantastic horse. And the real start of the Dean Canamad dynasty, I think that he would have just taken over.
Would have been that time, yeah. Funny enough, I saw Peter at the races on
PK.
Saturday. PK, nice to see him.
Doesn't look any different, does he?
No, still the same. Wonderful to see him.
Wonderful guy. Right, well, we're going to move on and have a look at our plum of the week.
Britain is racing up in second, then Fish River Canyon, Orchid Island following those, then comes Key Endeavour. French Foley's got 6-7 lengths to make up. They followed down the inside by Geosphere and Prada Princess. 400 metres left to go, and Orchid Island has swept past Written. Orchid Island has gone 3 lengths clear of Written here. Behind that down the inside is Fresh River Canyon and Prada Princess running on, but Orchid Island has the race at her mercy here with 150 left to go. She shot many lengths clear under a very enterprising ride by Del Pesh, and Orchid Island will win by 5. Orchid Island on her own 5 lengths. Fish River Canyon back in third was Written, no match for the winner, and close for fourth between Geosphere and Prada Princess.
Well, another success of the 3 to follow team, because this horse we picked out when it ran second and said follow this Silvano filly, bred by Vulgar Bosdrift and Maritz Fontaine and owned by Vulgar Bosdrift, Mary Slack. And you could have got 5-2, even 28-10 at the death about this filly. She was the bet of the century at that type of price.
Very good. She's not big, but she's very talented.
Yeah,
Whoa,
very,
won
very
easily.
talented.
Yeah,
And she's out of Ella Grande. We certainly gave her the thumbs up a couple of weeks ago when she ran second. And if you didn't back this, well, you haven't got an Interbet account, because your bookmakers probably closes your account. So you better get one and get on at the right price. So anyway, super win for the team, and well done to them. We'll be back with current affairs.
Yes. If you love soccer and you play the tote, you won't believe what Interbet has to offer you, or the excitement of tote betting on your computer or your cell phone. It's simple. Choose your teams and your bets, work out what your combinations will cost, see how big the pool is, and place your bets. You can even track your bet live as it happens and get updates on your progress. It's all the fun of the tote on your phone. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now at www.interbet.co.za and you could be a winner.
Right, graduate of the week, Bush Pilot, who broke his maiden. He's a 4-year-old. The turf took a bit of time. He has another horse that we made as a horse to follow. And he is bred by Fast Fontaine. He's a Judd Pot gelding, 375,000 buy from the 2014 Empress Palace National Yearling Sale. For owner David Shaw, well done to David. Congratulations to you and your team, and half-brother to Eastern Cape Derby winner, True Master. Bush Pilot is out of Premier's winner, Bushra, who's the dam of former Group 1 winner, Mill Hill. So it's a tremendous pedigree by Judd Pot, and certainly David Shaw's a great guy and a really good patron of Jeff Woodruff's. Nice to see them win. Let's move into our news, and we've got quite a lot of that, Blaff.
Yeah, we've got some races to show, James. No feature races around the country at the moment, but we did have 2 major races that came out. The Champion Stakes is run there, and the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes are run. 2 very good races. We saw some top horses.
Yeah, it's certainly Champions Day at Ascot was really well worth watching. And there were some good winners on the day. The Tin Man was a wonderful one, the sprint for James Fanshawe and Tom Quealy. And James Fanshaw's got a syndicate of people that his wife put into this horse, and he's been a fabulous horse. And we chatted about James Fanshawe last week. And there was just a Journey by Dawawi won the fillies and mares. Sheikh Zayed Road.
Yeah.
We see him in Dubai. He's been very good in Dubai. He's won the 2-mile race. Simple Verse ran 3rd, the Duke of Marmalade.
They're in a very good race.
Yeah, so, it's just some really good racing. And let's go and have a look at the first one. What do we got there first there?
The Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, James. And this is, we've seen a horse by Galileo called Minding. I think it's the 6th or 7th Group 1. 7th Group 1 for Minding. Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien. Let's have a look at this race. We'll have a look at both these races from the start.
They're off. Racing over the straight mile, Barchan over to the far side is one of those to show. Galileo Gold's a bit keen in the early stages. Minding heading over to the far side with Ribchester. Meanwhile, Jet Setting is coming right up this near side running rail as Barchan's rider has a look behind to see where Ribchester is, and we'll find that Minding splitting the pair over that far side group with Hit It a Bomb, Mitcham Swagger and Stormy Antarctic. The group coming down the stand side are headed by Jet Setting, who leads from the claret cap of Galileo Gold under restraint. Hatal comes next, then the blue and white colours with the striped cap of Ortard, Lightning Spear and Breton Rock towards the tail of this near side group. Arde is stand side as well. So at the moment, 2 distinct groups. Barchan towing Minding down the centre with Ribchester, Hit It a Bomb, Mitcham Swagger's White Face, and also White Faced Red and Black of Stormy Antarctic. Jet Setting under the near side running rails, towing along the Al Shakab pair, Galileo Gold and Hatal in the gold cap. Then the Sheikh Hamdan pair, the striped cap of Ortard and the black one of Arde, and then Lightning Spear and Breton Rock towards the rear of that group. Barchan over on the far side. Ribchester now begins to make his move. Minding's pushed along, then Hit It a Bomb. Near side Jet Setting with Galileo Gold being ridden along. Ribchester, Minding moves out to challenge. Stormy Antarctic, Mitcham Swagger over on the far side. Lightning Spear changes course. Minding, she moves to the front. Ribchester, then Ortard, Galileo Gold. Lightning Spear is staying on stoutly, but it's Minding who's moved to the lead in the QE2. Lightning Spear and Ribchester are trying to run her down, but it's Minding who still leads by over a length. Ribchester trying to close. 7 Group 1s, and she's only 3. Minding won the QE Stakes to G2 Stakes to beat Ribchester. Lightning Spear, Ortard in 4th. Behind.
Well, there you go. A fantastic performance by Minding. Ribchester came back at it, James, but she's danced a few dances and danced them all beautifully.
Well, you were in 7th Group 1s as a 3-year-old, okay? She's raced. She's raced a lot this year, and she just hasn't lost her gloss. She's got to be as tough as they come. But what a wonderful commentary from Richard Hoyles. He's a great commentator.
Great commentator,
really.
yeah.
Well, you hear great commentators, and nothing better than listening to guys that really paint the picture for you, because you can be anywhere. Sitting on your deck chair in the Bahamas, on your cheap Taiwanese deck chair, and you can be listening to this and you'll know exactly what's going on. But we go and move on to the Champion Stakes, which is the middle distance Group 1. And this was a fantastic result. This horse is absolutely...
Almanzor, named after Gavin Almanzor from Cape Town.
Gavin Almanzor's brother.
This French horse, very good horse. A lot of
people... Gavin
Almanzor
speak French?
Yes.
Yes, he can. Okay.
Found was the Arc winner 2 weeks ago. Found won the Arc. She's a fantastic filly, and she'd come into town, and everyone was saying, "Well, doesn't take the edge off them, but whether it did or not, she ran a great race. But the horse to beat her, Almanzor, is a very good horse. Christophe Soumillon for Mr. Rouget. Watch this race.
And they're off. Gabriel is steadied on leaving the stalls. Almanzor wasn't the fastest away and is being taken off the running rail to recover some of that ground that was lost. The early pace setters include the red cap of Maverick Wave, but it is a steady early race pace here, with towards the outside Racing History. Several are very fired up as a result. Mid-term, the Grey Gatsby's danger of being posted 4 wide into the turn. Then US Army Ranger on the inside running rail. Almanzor keeping the options open, moved one off the rail. Found has done well to get over from that wide out gate on the outside of My Dreamboat. Jack Hobbs is settled towards the rear of the field, and Gabriel is last of all. So despite the fact Jack Hobbs is at the back, the two pace setters not setting an overly brisk gallop at the moment. Maverick Wave out in front with US Army Ranger, and towards the outside Racing History, and the pace very much yet to pick up, falling over themselves in midfield slightly. Mid-term in fourth with Almanzor in the light blue colours. The Grey Gatsby covers up the French Derby winner. Found tries to move forward with My Dreamboat. Jack Hobbs one from the tail with Gabriel, as now Maverick Wave is just asked to stretch as they steadily climb away from Swinley Bottom. So heading down towards the halfway stage of the Kipco Champion Stakes. Maverick Wave out in front, the red cap, Racing History the white cap. US Army Ranger, the all dark jacket on the rails. Almanzor's been forced back to the fence on the inside of Mid-term and the Grey Gatsby. Found and Jack Hobbs wide into the straight with My Dreamboat and Gabriel at the tail. They are well packed as they make the turn with 3 furlongs to travel in the Kipco Champion Stakes. Maverick Wave begins now to try and increase the pace, covered by Racing History. US Army Ranger Almanzor angling off the rail is alongside Found, as the Grey Gatsby and Racing History are the first two to commit. Almanzor still held together by Soumillon. Found towards the outside, then US Army Ranger, the Kipco Champion Stakes, and that title is up for grabs. Almanzor in the pale blue. Found is trying to reel him in, but it's Almanzor once again repelling Found. There is no doubt he is a champion. Almanzor, what a season for Jean-Claude Rouget and Christophe Soumillon. Found was second, Jack Hobbs.
Superb performance, and the filly Found tried hard all the way up the stretch, but James, this horse just found that extra, and as the commentator said, a champion.
He found more than found.
Found more than found. Yeah, very true.
That was a fabulous win, and he's by quite an obscure stallion, Wooten Bassett. Yeah. But this horse has been a revelation this year, and Jean-Claude Rouget is one of the top trainers in France. Christophe, we love watching him ride, and he's a great guy, Christophe Soumillon, so deserves every bit of success. You know, he's always teamed up with Team de Kock in Dubai, and we love
he's
partying
a
with
great
him.
He's
He's
a
good man. Good man.
Yeah,
Christophe.
very good horse, and Found ran a very good race. The rest were chasing hard. Jack Hobbs, there were decent horses behind them, but the front two certainly were the best two.
Absolutely. Just talking about jockeys, Jim Crowley won the British Championship.
Yeah, he's an excellent rider. He really busy rider, gets in. So he beat D'Souza, right?
Yeah. He won the Jockeys Championship there, and I think there was another jockey that we had to talk about, Pierre Charles Boudin.
Yeah, no, I don't know this guy.
He's a froggy Frenchman. Okay. He's broke the record, Soumillon's record, 228 winners for a season. He broke that. Good. He's ridden his 229th winner, and he's still got, I think, some weeks to go in the season. So he's now looking to break the world record for winners in a season.
Wow,
this boy is firing, absolutely firing.
And Ruby Walsh, he's travelling?
Yeah, he's going to ride in the United States Grand National, and he's going to ride a horse called Rawnak, R-A-W-N-A-Q, and it was beaten by, Ruby got beaten by this horse in the big jumps race at Far Hills, New Jersey a couple of months ago, so now he's jumped onto this one, Ruby. And hopefully you get to ride it, get to win this, the United States Grand National. The United States.
Ruby Walsh is a superb rider.
Have you seen the Grand National there? It's hurdles, basically. Yes, they're not big jumps like the Grand National jumps,
Okay, so Ruby will love it.
It's the World Championship, in America, everything's
everything's the world. The world's greatest burgers, whatever. Jim, what about, they picked a South African jockeys team, I believe.
That's a little storm in a big teacup. The South African jockey team does not include Striker Stradum. Now, I would not believe that if you or anyone had the choice of every jockey in South Africa, the first name you pencil in is Striker Stratum.
Yeah, he showed it winning the July again, the Vodacom Durban July. No, that Striker didn't make the team. You sure he made himself available? What date is the race?
Available.
What date is the race?
The race is on the 22nd and 24th of November, or 26th and 28th of November.
Okay.
It's towards the end of November. And,
sure.
Frankie's coming out to ride, and it's going to be the normal jockeys, internationals versus South Africans. There are a whole bunch of others. Paddy Cosgrave's coming out.
Patsy's coming.
Patsy's coming.
What, 12th and 13th of October?
12th and 13th of
James,
November.
tell me,
we got from Spielberg.
So Pierre Stratum didn't make it.
Yeah, well, it's shades of South African soccer, rugby, and anything else that you want.
Not picking the best.
Well, it seems to be. There's Khumalo is the captain.
Champion jockey.
Well and good. Fortune.
Ex-champion jockey.
Great rider.
Yeah,
Fortune.
no doubt.
Telpesh.
Ex-champion jockey. No,
Yeah,
we got great riders in this country.
Yenny.
Yenny, good rider.
Yeah, he's ridden more horses than anyone else in South Africa this year. Larina.
Yeah, champion
Gav.
jockey.
There's a number of Larinas. Gee, there are a number of
there's a few of them,
Larinas.
yeah. Champion
And Fanekirk.
So yeah, you're on your way up. But I think when you tell of how good a rider is when the Vodacom Durban July comes up, who gets the rides? And as you say, Stratum would be penciled in with Marcus Delpesh.
If Stratum's on the bench and you've got a horse that can run, you want Stratum to ride it.
Yeah, you can't have Lionel Messi sitting on the bench for Barcelona.
And he is the best, and I'm really sad he's not in because I think he adds value. I think people love him, and certainly the first leg is going to be in Port Elizabeth, which is his hometown. And
James, they could race on a corrugated roof, he'd still be brilliant. He's just
but the point is, if you're going to have a jockeys championship and you've got his hometown, Stratum, the hometown boy left out, what are they going to do? Ask him to carry the bags? Anyway, I think it's a poor show.
It's a travesty, but anyway, Caulfield Cup, Jim.
Caulfield Cup, yeah, that was a race. Jamaica won the Caulfield Cup. It's by my boy Charlie out of a General Needham mare, and it beat Scottish Godolphin's horse, which is getting ready. They're all getting ready for the Melbourne Cup.
A lot of I see horses coming in from all over the world.
All over the world, yeah.
Can't see the Aussies winning it.
Well, the Aussies won this, but as we've always said, the Aussies will never win another Melbourne Cup.
They'll have to be very lucky. They're buying everything that can stay in Europe.
Unless they bring in the same rules they brought in for South African horses.
What is that?
No one's allowed.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Lloyd Williams, talking about Aussies, Lloyd Williams bought into a horse called Sir Isaac Newton of the Coolmore bunch, and it ran in the Caulfield Cup, didn't run anywhere, so he just bought it, and it's going to run in the Melbourne Cup, obviously. And he bought a share in St George, Order of St George, which ran in the Arc the other day and ran third. You remember? I think Frankie rode it in the
That's
Arc.
right. Yeah.
And there's a great picture of Frankie kissing Ryan Moore.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Moore was an unwilling participant.
He looked appalled, but in the euphoric moment he accepted it. James, sale this weekend. CTS had their sale down, the rate run sale down in Cape Town. And 28 million turned over, James. You know, they sold 145 of the 159 horses. They averaged 193. Sale topper, 2 colts.
Yeah.
One by
one you bought into this country.
Yeah, one by Acceleration and one by What a Winter. So very good.
Congratulations. The problem was that the average was down about 28,000.
Was it?
Yeah, the average last year was 229,000 or 38,000. The average was down considerably.
Yes.
And there was not a lot of interest in a lot of horses, and
not
it's
one
all
made
very
a million.
worrying.
Yeah, not one made a million, which is
And
strange.
last year I think 6 or 7 made a million.
Yeah, that's right.
But it seemed like the big guys weren't nearly as active as they were last year, and I think the top...
Well, James, I think the barometer will probably be the sale in Johannesburg, the CTS Joburg sale, and that will be a very interesting sale. There's some very good horses on that sale, and it's up in Gauteng.
Okay, well, let's take a break, and we'll be back with emails. Well, it's always interesting to do emails, and a lot of our fans say we don't do them enough, but we can only do them when we have them. And we have quite a bunch today, and we're going to go and have a look at the first one, starting stalls, England versus South Africa, Len Bloch. Let's go and have a look, and this really hurts me today because yesterday I had one withdrawn.
Let's because of the print, I put my glasses on here. But my name is Len Bloch. I'm a resident in Cape Town. And I recently ticked another of my bucket list to do things by buying into 3 beautiful 2-year-olds. Racing South Africa needs another 10,000 small owners like me if the game is to survive. Now on to the first of what might be a number of things I'd like to hear you and your Sud, your presenting point. I don't know why I'm called Sud. Tell him Marcus is first name of Anton, not Arthur. Thanks for telling me that, Len. I watch English racing with great interest and see nothing but pure professionalism in all facets with great jockeyship, but more importantly, the way the starting tall lads work as a team and the ability to calm even the most skittish of horses. If it's a small field or a big field, my observation with South Africa, it's the complete opposite. I think the clubs should really get it sorted out. There's a lack of teamwork at the starts, and I believe our South African trainers are on a par with the best in the world. So draw the conclusion the problem I outlined has nothing to do with the trainers and the preparing of horses. I look forward to hearing an open, honest discussion. James, are we that weak at the starting stalls?
I think we are, yeah. I do. I think that there are big problems with the starting stalls. We now have a system where we load this sort of alternate 1, 3, 5 or 2, whatever. Yes. I still haven't worked out exactly what it is, because now they're working.
They've started to bring it through from the younger horses, James.
3 at a time now. It was going to be 2 at a time.
1 and 7, 2 and 8.
Yeah,
3
but
and
it was
9.
1 and 7. It was 2 at a time. That was what was bought in.
It's still that.
No, 3 at a time now. Now they start with they go 4, 7. 11, okay, and 5, fields. 8, 12, or 3, 6, 12. And they work outwards to inwards. It doesn't seem to work.
No, they work inwards, outwards, James.
Yeah, whatever.
But James, they do make provisions for claustrophobic horses, horses that play up at the gates. So they've looked into it. They're trying to get the perfect situation. But I agree, the English system looks very good.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to mention what happened yesterday because it's not worth it, and this is not the forum. So let's move on and go and have a look at.
Will you stop mentioning
Roy Petey? Okay. Thanks for a great interview, Jack Ramsey. Brought back wonderful memories, and Jack was a wonderful guy. It just was. Superb. We had to play the interview again. How many of the younger generation watched the show would have known what he was talking about? Names he mentioned, both humans and horses. Well, anyone who's a fan in this industry will know what he is talking about. Racing industry must start a Hall of Fame, and I agree with him 100%. The history is there. We've closed down a number of race courses. There's all this type of stuff that should be put in a Hall of Fame, and surely there is enough money. There's a question: what is the industry doing to attract the younger generation? Parents drag their teenagers to a race meeting. The teenagers are not allowed in a bar, not allowed to bet. So what do? Sit on their iPads, cell phones, take no interest in the racing side. What better way to introduce youngsters to racing than have a school visit to the Hall of Fame? Okay, I quite agree with you. And surely the sponsorship is easy to find. Companies advertising, change of subjects to Equus Awards. There seem to be other factors beside performance when it comes to choosing the winners. Surely a colt that wins the Triple Crown must be the best 3-year-old, but Abashiri got no award. Siren's Call, who lost the Triple Crown by a short head after being Roy shot at the start, was not even nominated for an award in his season. One wonders what exactly does a horse have to do during the season to get an award. A winner of the Equus Award does add value to the horse in question, and imagine the right of him. Eric Ferro not being champion 3-year-old horse. Yeah, he brings up an interesting point.
Yeah, Abashiri, I think the panelists would have reasons why they didn't pick it. I agree. Normally the champion like Abashiri has to be a tough horse to beat in this, but Siren's Call was a year earlier. So but Abashiri had become the darling of Haarveld racing, and people around the country loved this horse. And it's interesting. I'd like to look back to see who beat it and who was rated ahead of it.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Okay. The next one I'm going to work is from Bruce Walker. Right. Good day, James. He must be Australian. Thanks to the show. Breath of fresh air makes Monday viewing worth it. I was looking at the awards for last year, and it's Abashiri, James. There's a big argument here. For Abashiri not to get the award is a kick in the gut. We need heroes again, and for Legal Eagle to get it, yes, he did do well, but come on, guys, you should at least take into account what the public want us. They are the backbone of racing. We want to cheer a hero, to bring people back to course and see a horse run in the flesh. You miss something special to help a hero make people come back to the course. Legal Eagle is a champ, but he will not bring people to the course as Abashir will and did. Rather, to Mark, well done. You have a horse in a million. I hope he stays there so we can see the true champ run. And that is from Bruce Walker. Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, it's well, it's quite a moot point, this, and certainly, you know, there are many people who are not happy with Abashiri not getting the certainly the Champion 3-year-old award.
Yeah.
But I've heard both sides of the story, and you know, everyone's got a point, and
sure.
They've got to make a call, judgment call, and I'm not going to get involved here. But Tony Rhodes is our next contributor, and he sent us to Penny Broodrake and CC'd us and a whole lot of other people. Can you, the RA, please try and do something that I think most members would like to see? Set up on the Racing Channel a dedicated hour, 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. if you like, and title it Daily Reruns. DSTV must treat this hour as if it were a series, so that those of us with PVR can set and record it every night. Those without will have to see it each night. To start off with daily reruns, they can be breeded details, trainers, owners, jockeys. It should be followed by Breeding to Win and James and Paul's show, which you could alternate each night. If there's not enough time to throw in an international race or two, some local news. Not soccer or Clive or V. Must be Clyde, I think he meant. Must be thousands of short clips, both local and overseas, which we could use to fill the hour. And Penny writes back, Dear Turf Talk is a website dedicated to horse racing and breeding in South Africa with an international touch around it. We went online mid-July and already have a sizable and dedicated following, growing daily. We also produce a free newsletter to subscribers 5 days a week. Attached is yesterday's newsletter. So she's attached at the heart of Turf Talk is good reason. It is our aim to produce quality content, articles, and whatever. We promise to keep you posted and entertained. Well, I think that what Penny's missing is that our contributor, Tony Rhodes, wants an hour every single night, okay, that is set up for an hour or 2 hours.
Because we do blitzes.
Yeah, but the blitzes, you don't know when they're coming. That's the problem. You see, what he wants is he wants to be able to record the PVR and then watch it, you know, and know that between 1 and 2, and I think he's got a very good point. I think on a 24-hour racing channel, there should be a time set aside to watch the racing. But I know that as far as gold, but a lot of people don't have YouTube or have airtime, or they're not able to go on it. But if you want to go on Gold Circle's website, you can always watch the replays and watch Winning Ways, this show. From, I think, midday on Monday morning, you can watch, Monday, you can watch this show on Gold Circle's website. You go to Gold Circle, bottom right-hand corner, you go to the YouTube icon, click on there, and up it comes. And all the replays. But Tony's saying, as far as 239 is concerned, they should have an hour or 2 hours, and certainly it's something that we'll take to management.
All right, on we go. We've got something else here from Keith coming to you. Keith McLean. Right, dear James, forgive me for using what I imagine is your business email address, but I did phone Teletrack to find out they did not seem to know what I was talking about and suggested I phone back at 5 in the morning, because that's when you guys record your show. I didn't know we did it at 5 in the morning, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
I happened to on Teletrack last night where they were showing the Equus Awards program. At the time I tuned in, there was a person doing an Elvis Presley impersonation. Was it Clyde Basil?
Could easily have been.
Could easily have been Clyde Basil. With the Elvis suit,
but
a wig.
Clyde can't sing, it must be Robbie Sham.
Must be Robbie Sham. False sideburns. And on top of it all, he couldn't sing, so it could have been Clyde. I actually thought he was a stand-up comedian and expected him to tell a few jokes. Well, if that's the best the relevant organisation can put on, then I don't have too much faith in the leadership. My opinion, it was an absolute joke, not the type of show you put on an event like that. Feel free to discuss with the poor lefties, please. As I want them to direct in the first place, but unfortunately could not get hold of your show's email address. Thanking you, regards, Keith McLean.
Keith McLean. Okay, Keith McLean, just mentioning it, he sent me another email on my address yesterday about the commentator saying there's something about the horse in the first race of Charles Letts, I think it was, that broke through the pens and or got reloaded, and the commentator said something about, after all its problems, it ran a fantastic race or whatever. And he said, please explain. So, well, it's problems at the start.
Yeah, playing up at the start. I think he's talking about the horse of Dennis's. Dennis Bosch's,
Dennis Bosch's,
sometimes
absolutely.
it affects him, sometimes it doesn't, you know. But
absolutely.
He didn't come to the front, he went at the back, but something was scratched. But anyway, let's move on, James.
Okay, we're going to move on to Richard Knight, okay? He's from the Knight clan. And they must be a hell of a clan, this bunch.
Yeah, very good clan.
I was so impressed by the knowledge of your presenter, Budgie. I'll be watching every show in future. Regards, Richard K. Well, that can only be Budgie Byrne.
Yeah, obviously. It's
on the, what's your show
called?
On side.
On side, yeah.
Not on the side.
He's an absolute font of information. You know, I sit there working with him, and I can't believe how much he knows about football. He
knows everything.
You've got to watch Budgie. I agree with you. Thanks very much, Richard. That's a wonderful comment, and
he's a top tipster as well.
Yeah, top.
Yeah, I think it's about time we had a break, isn't it? And we have to have a
let's
break. What's the story with the break? Maybe we should have a break and see
what have we got.
Magic Millions.
Yeah, here we are. Mela Maria. This was this is the horse that Michael Lazzie won the feature with, the Group 2 the other day. Well done to Michael. This horse won a very good race from the front. Okay, that's the successful feature race winner from Magic Millions this week. But let's get back onto the show. Okay, let's have a look. Now we've got something sent to Graham, who's passed it on to us. I think, and he's basically asking for us to redo the interview with Jack Ramsey. But we've done it twice, James.
Yeah, we've redone it, and it's. Was obviously sad, the passing of Jack Ramsey, but the interview was so well liked that it was well worth playing it again. Let's go and have a look at Amit, and Amit has sent us.
Who's it from?
Amit.
Okay.
Is that right?
That sounds right.
Amith is Amit.
Amit Ramnarain.
Well, I'm glad you got that right. You know, you're a Durban boy, you should get these surnames right. Okay, thanks to you guys for an awesome show. I always watch it whenever I get a chance. Well, you should get more of a chance, Amit. I write to you today regarding bets taken by punters. Let me know your thoughts on this.
Yeah, our thoughts.
As I'm not sure if it was mentioned on your show before, just recently I took a bet in Perth, UK, that jumps racing. The horse I backed was playing up at the start and settled down again. So as the starter was about to release the tape, the horse dislodged a jockey. How on earth does that horse become a runner when it hasn't even moved 10 meters? Even iRacing here, you will notice a few times horses refuse to jump or walk out a few meters, but conveniently for the stripes, they favor what they want. In all honesty, horse not move 50 meters should be scratched. From my perspective, daylight robbery to the punter. Can we possibly bring some light on this matter? It's very disturbing for the punter and the sport itself. Just a second point, Teletrack is a channel for horse racing, so instead of taking long breaks showing soccer, they should catch more interviews or replays for punters. So it just shows you that there are punters out there that want to hear interviews and reports. Let's just get on the second point. And as much information and knowledge that you can give them, it's good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, it's daylight robbery.
You've had this initiative with
first-timer
initiative.
We'll talk about it because I see Charles brings it up.
Okay, so we'll talk about that later. But let's go back to the first point. And when the horse loses its jockey at the start or goes 10 meters and the jockey falls off, you've got to draw a line, in my opinion. And as the stall's open, the horse is a runner. Okay, unless it is impeded by a handler. Okay. Or it is impeded in such a way.
If it goes up, James, like a horse of mine did yesterday, and it loses ground, you have to live with it.
Yeah.
That's just one of the quirks of horses and things that can happen to the gate. But, if a jockey falls off and has jumped 2 meters with the jockey, it's a runner.
Yeah.
You have to have rules in place.
Unfortunately, it's like rubber the green. And I think this was what we used to use with rubber the green. Things that unforeseen that happen that are going to cost you having a fair run for your money. Yeah. But anything can happen. You've got to be careful where you draw the line, because what happens is you start saying, well, this guy falls off when he comes out the pens. What happens if the horse loses shoe after it's gone 100 meters? It's not going to run well. It's bad luck. Or the saddle slips.
Bad luck.
or these things happen. Rain broke. I remember rain
saddles,
some unbelievable.
No, you're right,
things
James. That is unfortunate.
Yeah,
And the same thing. No jockey wants to fall off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
except Bert Sage.
Yes, that's the only one I can think of in history.
Oh, wonderful.
I'll smell a rattly.
Okay, right. Let's go and move on.
Okay, James, that was one of yours. So now we got one of mine here, and this is. Let me get the old specs up.
Yeah.
This is Charlie. This is Charles Fall. Now
yeah.
we've got a few from Charles Fall, and Charles has been. I'm going to try and get them in some sort of order. I'm going to get this one here first. When are you and your fellow trainers going to take a stand against our morally flawed and dysfunctioning betting market? It breaks every fundamental law of the efficient market principle, the key driver of capitalism equals free market enterprise. All we need is to replace one race on every card with an NHRA-controlled weight for age. No whipsit decides, official trial, the result of which is embedded in all form lines. No horse who is debuting or returning from a 3-month break to be allowed to participate on public-funded racetracks for public-funded stakes in betting races unless it has satisfied the staff that is ready to race well. This could make the cost of private gallops almost redundant. While one must applaud Paul's new initiative, trainers' comments, this simply does not go far enough and can lead to unintended misinformation. Saw a horse get a Harding twin at 33-1 on debut at PE Friday. The poor animal won't forget that experience. And then on Saturday, Turfentine, an 8-1. 8-1, 2 outright favourite, 1 on debut. The poor customers, that endangered species in racing, won't forget that. With properly done trials, everyone wins. Yes, everyone. Then, and only then, will marketing initiatives not be rendered totally irrelevant as they have been for the 4 decades that I've watched the tidal wave of public distrust grow and drive our mind game to its knees. Enough of this insanity. Please use your influence while there is still some life left. We could have been the next Hong Kong. Because he goes on to say Hong Kong years ago was on its knees. And they started trials and they started getting everyone involved and made it made everyone get very active in the game, James. And here's also the point with first timers: it's insider trading if you don't tell the public.
Well, yeah. Now there's been a second side of the story, which has said actually, if you want to find out, watch the betting moves. You'll see straight away. And why should listen to what I'm saying? Why should the punter, get information that is privileged to a guy who's purchased and kept a horse for months, maybe years?
Hogwash. One word answer. Let me defend. I'll let you finish. What utter hogwash. The whole industry, whoever's told you that shouldn't be in the game. How can you not? If you want a situation where a guy is going to have a horse run in a race, but you don't tell him what it can do, then why take the punter's money who want the information and pay you when your horse wins? Say, no, you keep your information, don't tell anybody, but you can only bet with the bookmakers. The tote's not giving you a cent. Why is all that public money? That's insider trading. Come racing, but we're not telling you.
I'm not saying I disagree with you.
I'm passionate about this. Tell them. There's 100 ways to tell them. If I was trading a horse for you, James, and it was a certainty, and they asked me, I'd say, yeah, I think it'll run very, very well. You're telling the truth. You're not saying, guys, lump on, because we know how hard it is to win, but don't say, no, I'm not telling you. And people say the bookmaker's going to get the information. Bookmakers know more about your yard than you do yourselves.
What is the better part of evil? To tell the public it's green and will need the run and it's not ready, and then lump the money on and it win. Or to not say anything.
Well, let's find cases where that's happening. Well, a guy will get found out, James. If you become known as a notorious lie to public, a cheat, you will find out. You're shooting yourself in the foot, never anybody else.
I can tell you, since your initiative, there have been not one, but there have been a few instances, where certain trainers use the same format for their horses. Every time they're asked the question about first timer, green need the run, or needs further, Right. But very few, if any, have ever turned around and said, in fact, one, I think, turned around and said, this horse, I think, will win. Yeah. It's good enough, I think it will win.
Do you know
and there have been first timers that won.
We don't want you, and you still get flack if it gets beat. That's the name of the game. Punters out there will say, hey, well, you told me this horse, it got beat. I can't send my horse out to win every time. I try my hardest. Everyone's trying. But James, don't not tell them.
I think this
James,
goes
you're taking
a
quartet or a trifecta, and you work it out in this 8-ton race, and you get your comments. For them, no, too sharp, this horse can't come back, it's out. But you put in the 4, they say, hey, they've got a chance, just throw in your quartet.
Okay, hold on a moment.
Yeah.
We got 3 to follow.
Yeah.
Mostly first timers.
Yes.
Go back in the comments and look at the 3 to follow.
Yes.
Okay, and some of those 3 to follows need the run green backward, run second. Okay.
Can happen, James.
Now, what I'm saying to you, and I'm throwing you the devil's advocate, don't get cross with me because I know that you're passionate about it.
Don't defend the indefensible.
Okay? I'm saying to you that if you want an initiative to work, then there's got to be honesty. Okay.
Absolutely.
From the people that are being asked the question.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And James, 90% of the people are.
But 90%, the 10% that
James,
aren't,
should we have no percent? Should we have no percent of information?
Yes, everyone should be honest.
Correct. James, you're going to get criminals. You're going to get the guys who are going to be... But don't pander to the 10%. Pander to the 90%. We want to go forward. We want transparency. I want people to come to the turnstiles.
I agree with you.
If a guy wants to keep all his information to himself. I remember an apprentice one day here. I asked him, he got 2 more. I said, how do you think they'll do? He said, I'm not telling anybody. The Starps had him in with Graham Hawkins before his feet touched the ground. You can't go out there and come and race here, but we're not going to tell you what's going on. Insider trading sends people to jail, but we can do it every day in racing. Go out there. You don't have to tell it it's going to win, but give them an idea it's got a chance.
But that's the point. And the whole point is you've got to give them an idea it's got a chance if it's got a chance.
And most people are.
No, that's the problem, is that there are a number of horses, and that's why this has come up, okay, where people say they want gallops, okay, where they can actually see a horse gallop. Now, I'll tell you where the flaw is in that system.
What's that?
There's a big flaw in that system. Because when the horse goes to the gallop, who knows whether that horse is fit enough or well enough to gallop? It might be able to catch pigeons.
At least someone will be able to see, James. But 2 weeks before a race, you're not going to be walking unfit, James.
I agree with you. But the point is that you've seen how many horses take 2 or 3 runs, okay, till they come to their best. 2 or 3 race runs. They might have had 8 gallops before.
James,
so you send it to a barrier trial, okay, the so-called barrier trial, runs 5th out of 6 in the barrier trial. Not ready. What does help? And I'll tell you what helps, okay? This is the crux of the matter. We used to weigh horses, okay? There's no more weighing horses. Yeah. That is vital information because I can tell you, and you know as a trainer.
James, I weigh all my horses, but I can tell you one thing. Public don't know what my horses weigh because it's taken away. I agree. But James, that's not the crux of the matter. That's a little addition. Show people information.
If a horse arrives for a gallop, okay, and weighs 560 pounds, okay, and gallops 5th out of 6 beaten 8 lengths, and arrives at the races and weighs 480 pounds, you know that horse is tightened up.
It's either got distemper or it's tightened up. Let me tell you, James, I know when the guys get a horse, everyone gallops their babies and tries to get them ready. Why not gallop them in the forum where everyone can see them?
Sure.
People don't know what weight they got on their backs, but at least people can see them.
Sure.
Don't hide things.
So let's have public gallops like Charles Ford says.
It works everywhere in the world. Everywhere that has it. Some countries don't have it. But Australia's and the other Asian countries, they have it, James. And the bottom line is here, tell the people everything. I know, you can give me 200 of the best bred horses. I'm still not going to be guaranteed I'm going to tip your horse first time out to win because it might not be good enough. These things happen in racing. But people will know that I fancy it. And that's all you want. You've got to cater for the guy who's giving us stake money, James. We're in a situation, just to wrap it up, James. The trainers, all these guys who have cleverly got, the clever guys, they're not making a living. The trainers aren't making a living. They're bankrupt. And yet they think they can do things. There's 10% of the trainers have got money, James, and that's the tragedy of it. Every single one of those humans are passionate. They love their horses, they're animal lovers, they're all trying to do well. They're all trying to make a living. They're not making a living. And that's the killer. That's the killer. So why should they be hiding things? It hasn't worked for 30 years.
But that's the point. This trainers initiative that you've put together so well, and I believe is the right thing. Just don't get me wrong, don't shout at me, okay? You're having a go at me. I'm the first guy who steps up and said, but there is a feeling out there, and you've seen the websites, there's been people who've said this is absolute nonsense. We don't have to do this. Okay, there's 2 sides of every story. Charles Ford has said we must go back to the situation where you have gallops.
Yes.
That they've got to have gallops, okay?
Yes.
Charles Ford has been on to gallops for 30 years. Yes. That's what he wants. He believes it's right. I'm not sure that he's not wrong. I think
Yeah.
that he could be right.
Yeah.
But we all have a unique racing situation. South Africa is completely unique to anywhere else in the world.
James, no matter how you beat this, you've got to give people information.
Correct.
Just give people information. Let them go out there, let them decide. It's still very difficult. People know we can't, it's very difficult to blind horse to bet, but you've got to help the public. These guys put the money in. Our stake money hasn't gone up around the country substantially in years. People are swerving. We've got to get more money out there. Tell the people more. A guy come along and have a bet and get involved in horse racing and he'll be out 3 months later because he doesn't know what's going on. What does he know what's going on? Cater for the public.
Okay, I agree with you in everything you said. You've now had a go. No, I'm not shaking your hand. To hell with you. Okay?
I want you to be held on record to agree with me. For agreeing with me.
I'm not shaking your hand. I've never not agreed with you. Okay?
I know
I believe in as much transparency as possible. The biggest problem that I have, okay, is that not everyone does. Okay,
yeah, and they've got to come
unfortunately, transparency should go from the top to the bottom.
Sure.
You don't have transparency, okay, when you can't get information out of the people at the top, okay,
sure,
who run this industry.
I agree with you, James.
As far as all types of things are concerned, and just talking about that, I just got the Phumelela after-tax profit, okay, last year till the end of July, 121 million, 52% up.
Fantastic.
Was the Phumelela after-tax profit.
Good to see. Keep putting into stake
Would
money.
be nice to see that 121 million go into stakes.
Put it into stake money, that's what we want. They have got their system and it works for them, and well done with those figures. Well done to Rion and his team. They're doing a great job in their department. But the bottom line is, we have to keep people involved in racing. And the way you get them into racing is tell them what's going on. I would not get involved in any sport if I didn't know what was going on. If they bought you a car and you didn't know if the brakes worked, no, they don't. We can't tell you about brakes. Can't tell you about the handbrake. You're going to buy a car? But no, come into racing. Spend $1 million on this horse.
Is there anything else we need to talk about Charles Fall?
No, we're fine. We're fine. We've got to get to scratch.
Okay, well, the point is that, I don't know, he said Mace Roberts should be telling us about how Japan made it.
Yeah,
there's all types of things here. And I must tell you, it's a fascinating article he's written. He can, Charles Fall has got all types of very, very interesting things. And maybe a guy like Charles Fall should be used more.
I would want to do, I'd like to put him on our show, James. If we can't get him here, go take them.
Well, let's
the
get him here. We've been dying to get him on the show.
I'd like to
but we need more than
and I'd like you to interview him, because him and I would be sitting in the same chair. But I'd like you as the devil's advocate.
No, but I would ask him.
Yes.
I would, because I believe that there's always two sides to every answer. I'm not telling you which side that I agree with, but in this instance, I totally believe with Paul Lafferty.
Oh, you're such a good
guy. And I've always told the public when I fancy a horse or whatever.
No,
but I can tell you, the bookmakers know long before we tell the public.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, that's
absolutely
the point.
The
so what I'm saying to you is follow the money.
Yeah.
Okay? And follow the money on race day. You see, a lot of times what happens is that the money will come for a horse. And everyone will say, oh, that's fancy, so they'll get into it. But meanwhile, the bookmakers are just shorting it. Anyway, let's go. Until next week, I hope you had a great... enjoyed the show, and I hope you have a great week's racing. Next week, we've got a very interesting person who we interviewed in Cape Town, Robin Lowe. We're going to have a 2-part series with her. She's a writer for Sporting Post and one of the most knowledgeable women in the game. She'll tell you what she thinks about it.
Whoever said winning isn't everything never had to fight cancer. South Africa's sporting community has embraced the challenge. And now, the sport of horse racing adds its voice. On Friday night, 28 October, Gravel Racecourse goes pink in support of breast cancer awareness. All funds raised will go towards building Pink Drive's mobile mammogram and educational units. When you're helping to fight cancer, winning is everything. The Pink Drive Race Meeting, Friday night, 28 October.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.